tím á.
Con biếu lắm.
Ra ơi.
When Typhoon Wifa swept through central Vietnam with winds gusting up to level 10, it seemed like the worst had finally passed. But quietly, another disaster was already unfolding. The rain didn't stop after the storm. It kept pouring, and water from upstream came rushing down, causing rivers and streams throughout Nahan province to rise far beyond warning levels. While people were still trying to recover from the typhoon's aftermath, a powerful flood struck suddenly, swallowing entire rural communities in a vast sea of muddy water. No one expected that just hours after the storm, the lower regions of the Lam River, Chu River, and Giang River would become raging torrents. Once again, the land of central Vietnam was gripped by tragedy. Homes, crops, livestock all destroyed in a single night. And in the swirling floodwaters, the only sounds left were desperate voices calling out to one another from rooftops barely above the waterline. The murky, aggressive water surged into every village and neighborhood, forcing families to evacuate in the dead of night, without time to gather any belongings. Many households were caught off guard. Their furniture, rice, and precious possessions were all swept away. Familiar streets turned into fierce rivers. In the chaos, some people could only stand helplessly, watching everything they owned disappear. The aftermath of Typhoon Wifa's circulation turned Inge An into the epicenter of one of the most severe floods seen in 100 years. Small, peaceful streams became wild, destructive waterfalls. Water released from upstream reservoirs surged down with immense force, destroying everything in its path.
Dân tránh được hết nha bạn ơi. Nước về buổi ngày đây là dân chảy lên ở trên đồi hết rồi. Chỉ có là đồ đàn các kiểu là không mang được thứ mô cả. Có người còn không kịp lấy cả đồ. Bởi vì là cứ nghĩ là nước dâng lên là ai cũng bắt đầu kéo đồ lên. Đến khi nước ập về cái là đổ đi đồ là một cát nước về được.
By the morning of July 24th, more than 1,000 homes across the districts of Khai Son, Quai Chau, Con Quang, and Than Chuang were underwater. In Taka Commune, one of the hardest hit areas in Khai Son district, floodwaters rose during the night, pouring into people's homes while they slept. Some families barely managed to carry their children to the attic. Others grabbed only a flashlight, helping their elderly parents wade through freezing, knee-deep muddy water. Tragically, some weren't so lucky they were swept away while trying to reach safety. As of now, Nghe An province has reported at least 3 deaths and 10 people still missing. More than 3,700 homes have been flooded. Thousands of hectares of rice fields and crops have been wiped out. Fish ponds collapsed, sending tens of tons of fish downstream. Major highways and provincial roads have been shut down. In Tuang Duong district, a temporary bridge collapsed, cutting off hundreds of households from all rescue access.
Băng bạc, mất hết.
But beyond houses and farmland, what the people of Nghệ lost was something far deeper, the very lives they built with years of effort and sacrifice. A farmer in Than Chuang broke down in tears, watching his rice field just about to be harvested completely submerged, and 10 cattle swept away by the flood. She said, "All our savings, all our sweat and hard work, it's all gone. The rice is gone, the cows are dead, the house is gone, we have nothing left. I don't know how we're going to survive anymore." In the midst of a vast, endless sea of floodwater, many villages in Nghệ province were left completely isolated. Roads were cut off, water surrounded them on all sides, and waves lapped right up to their front doors. No electricity, no food, no way to contact the outside world. All the villagers could do was sit huddled together, waiting minute by minute in fear and despair. You could hear the cries of hungry children echoing through the night, the weary sighs of the elderly, worn down by exhaustion. Some families went 3 full days without any aid, surviving on a handful of cold rice and the last few scraps of wilted vegetables. At that moment, they wanted nothing more than for a rescue boat to arrive in time. Thousands of eyes stared out into the distance, hoping, praying for a glimpse of help on the horizon. Even more heartbreaking, entire villages near the river's edge were swallowed by the flood, completely swept away. Houses, farmlands, cattle, gone in just one night. Emergency forces, military units, and police were deployed immediately. Inflatable boats ran through the night, cutting across the floodwaters to rescue the elderly and young children trapped inside their homes. Helicopters were also dispatched to reach the most isolated areas. Local authorities continue searching for missing people, clearing thick layers of mud, reopening blocked drains, and reconnecting roads cut off by the floods. The provincial government of Nghệ has called for the full mobilization of the political system and has already received hundreds of tons of relief supplies from other provinces and charity groups from across the country. After the water receded, what was left was a haunting scene of devastation. Entire homes had been swept away, leaving behind only piles of rubble and memories. Inside neighborhoods, houses, and streets were caked in mud. Everything was broken. The people were devastated, emotionally drained, having lost everything they worked so hard to build. Still, many police officers and local militia didn't hesitate. Covered in mud and foul water, they joined the people in cleaning up the wreckage. They waded through dirty water, carried out bags of garbage and broken belongings, scrubbed the muddy floors, and helped collect what little could be salvaged. In a place where there was no power, no clean water, and no proper tools, every small act of help meant the world. It wasn't just about cleaning up. It was a powerful reminder that no one was alone in this tragedy. The floodwaters will eventually recede, the mud will be washed away, roads and bridges can be rebuilt, but the emotional scars, the haunting memories of that stormy night may linger for years to come. Nghệ is struggling to rise again, after one of the worst natural disasters it has ever faced. But one thing remains clear. In the face of devastation, the human spirit still shines. As the clouds part and sunlight slowly returns, the people here are beginning to rebuild their lives, putting up roofs, planting new crops, and piecing together what's left, armed with nothing but hope, courage, and the boundless compassion of a nation that never leaves its own behind. Thank you for watching.